What is going on, friends? Today we are going to talk about the final round of Formula Drift, me smashing my car into a wall, and all the fun that went on wrapping up the championship. Let's get to it, friends.
Not only four-time champion, but now he adds another one. Five-time Formula Drift champion, James the Machine Deane.
The Mustang RTR off the Ford factory line from Flat Rock, Michigan.
Ryan Turk dips back just a little bit. Ryan Turk, he needs to get... Oh, Vaughn, where are you going?
It's probably, you know what, you did it, you crushed it, you deserve to be here.
Yep.
You did an incredible job. This is just the beginning here for Ben Hobson.
He's just giving hugs, man. He's rubbing the furry wall. Happy as a clam. It's really great to see.
So finishing third place at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, finishing third place, and your five-time Formula Drift champion, James the Machine Deane.
So I just got back from Long Beach, California. I think I was there for like a month, but I was only there for a week. Well, 4 days, 5 days, something like that. Who's counting? But man, we crammed a whole lot of action into however many days that was. So first get to California and head straight to race service for the reveal of the new Mustang RTR. For those of you that maybe have been living under a rock, or we just haven't been doing a good job of letting you know, RTR and Ford have partnered up to build the first ever Ford Mustang RTR that is going to come straight out of the plant, ready to rock, if you want to be exact. But this is just crazy. I mean, that means we are the only second person ever, company ever, to collaborate with Ford and share design and engineering duties on a Mustang, and the other being Carroll Shelby. It is, I mean, just saying that is just like, is this real life? So there's a project that's been going on for almost 3 years now, and we have developed what is the most badass, exciting, exhilarating, and fun turbocharged Ford Mustang. Yes, it's EcoBoost. Yes, it's only available with a 10-speed automatic. Yes, it is badass. And you're like, well, how? It doesn't have a manual. Well, the reality is no one's buying manuals these days, unfortunately. So we couldn't justify doing a manual version of this. If you do want a manual or you don't want an EcoBoost for some reason, we also have V8s with manuals. So just to put that out there. But this car is very special. The goal of this car, aside from what I said a minute ago, was also to make it attainable and affordable, which it is. So now we have a Mustang that starts in, we're not really speaking about pricing, but if you look at what an EcoBoost Performance Pack is, you know, roughly low 40s all the way up to, you know, high 40s, it's pretty much the area that I'm expecting this vehicle to be in when it gets announced. And of course, we have vehicles all the way up to $175,000, $200,000 with the Spec 5, depending upon how you option it out. And so it's really awesome for me because prior to this, it was really hard to get an RTR for under like 60, 70 grand. So this really makes it awesome because I know there's a lot of you that can't justify a $78,000 car, but hopefully this is something that's a little bit more exciting. But we had a dope party at race service. We revealed that along with a merch line around the car that carries the Dazzle camo from the tease car that we showed at the Detroit Auto Show. And that merch is available at rtrvehicles.com. It is one limited run of, I think, 500 pieces. And once it's gone, it's gone. So go check it out. And if you like it, cop some. My favorite is the jacket. I wish I had stuff here to show you, but I didn't come as prepared as I might have for this. And so we had a great reveal. I mean, there was, 400-ish RSVP invited people that came out, Mustang owners. We had some dope Mustangs show up, and we just unveiled the car. And I kind of told the story of myself, Chelsea, and Adam being at the Ford Proving Grounds, testing this car, and basically evolving it with Ford to create what I consider the opportunity for the greatest enthusiast experience, right? And what does that mean? For me, ready to rock is ready for anything. It's about being ready. And that is such as in life, but also the vehicle. And so what we did with this car was all a result of the driving and testing we did, right? We learned that we needed to do a little bit better cooling, so we enhanced the cooling system. We felt the chassis could be a little bit more rigid for especially drifting maneuvers. And so we put bigger sway bars, stiffer rear subframe bushings and subframe from the Dark Horse on the car. Then we got into, really doing some technical driving, and I felt there was a little bit too much lag from picking the throttle up and tipping back in, whether you're drifting or more technical road race style stuff coming out of slow turns, things like that. And I just kind of brought the question up to engineers. I'm like, hey, how about anti-lag? And sure enough, they were like, yeah, that's actually a great idea. And we have patented anti-lag technology from the Ford GT Le Mans cars. So let us look into that. And sure enough, they called me and said, hey, we're going to be able to get anti-lag in this car, which was really, really cool. And it's awesome, to keep the turbo spooled, when you're doing transient throttle. And so, aside from the amazing stylish looks, we did 19 by 9.5-inch wheels all the way around, and we developed and designed a new RTR wheel for this car specifically, and revealed the car in Avalanche Gray, which is a new color that's coming with the 26 model year, which will be available with the RTR. So, but I mean, in addition to all those things, the car has a really dope startup screen and entry and exit screens, when you get in the car. Just a really cool experience that we've been able to put into the car collectively. Of course, badging, every car is serialized, and they rip. And Ford Performance actually working on a calibration, 350 horsepower, 400 foot-pounds of torque just by a cow. And then I actually have a first prototype turbo upgrade kit for this car that Ford Performance has been working on. I have it here at the shop. We'll be testing that soon. So we plan to have a full ecosystem for this turbocharged Mustang, which I'm really pumped. I think the EcoBoost, in fact, I like to say turbocharged Mustang instead of EcoBoost because there's nothing really, I don't really get the eco about it. It's performance, the motor rips, 315 horsepower stock. So it's more than the V8s had just a couple years ago. But I feel like it's really underrated. The one thing a lot of people don't think about with this car is its weight balance. It's 54-46, which is basically what our drift cars are. And it's just a lot of fun for any type of enthusiast activity that you want to do. Super nimble, and it just ripped. So after that, I went home. I went to the hotel in Long Beach, checked in for bedtime because I was beat because I left North Carolina that morning and had that whole day. Then James and I woke up and went to a podcast with Ron Bergenholtz and Nitto Tire, which was a lot of fun. The whole way there, I was talking smack about how I was going to whoop James's ass at Formula D, and my strategy of how I was going to make sure I was in a different bracket than him. So we went there, did the podcast, was pretty cool. In fact, Rob Dom's shop was right next door, so we got to see the things he's doing over there and check out all these IndyCar motors that he bought, which I'm thinking about. Maybe I should buy one and put it in something. But yeah, had the podcast, and then we headed back. James and I went to the Pike, got some lunch, and then headed to Larry Chen and Type S, the Night Lights event, where we had the Mustang RTR, which, by the way, I went to say Project Fun because that was our project name for that car, because it was just meant to have fun. So I always before I'm about to talk about it, I'm like, Project Fun comes out, because that's what I've been calling it for 3 years. So anyway, we showed Project Fun and just hung out with a really dope crew. In fact, I got to hang out with Sung Kang and show him the new RTR, which he was pumped on, and totally gets it. He loves the positioning of it. He understands what this car means for our culture. The fact that Ford has been the longest standing OEM in drifting. I come from drifting, and now we're collaborating on vehicles for the space. It's super dope. And we were talking about his new movie Drifter, which sounds really exciting and really came from his heart, and I'm excited to see it. And the event was dope. Like, there was so many people there. Larry kind of had a vision of like a, Tokyo Nights garage parking lot meetup, and that's exactly what it was. And we all drove in like as a parade through all kinds, like a sea of people. It was super cool. So we left there and went and got some Thai dinner with the squad and hit the bed and got ready for FD bright and early. 6:30 team meeting the next morning, and now it was all focus on Formula D. So my first time back in the car since Atlanta. I did a small test here at the lab, but just to feel the new changes. And the team, if you've noticed and been paying attention, our cars look a lot more settled and stable on the track. And that's a lot due to James being lead driver and having the basically, rights to kind of evolve as he sees fit. And he definitely did some of this last year as well, but we went even further this year. And it was also a result of Scott, who is a longtime friend of the team, definitely done engineering for other teams in the past. And but he was brought on this year as Clay, our previous engineer, decided he wanted to spend more time in his business and with his family. And so the cars have evolved and in an unbelievable way. So this is my first time being able to feel it in a Formula D setting. Testing is one thing, but you never get the scenario where the aggressiveness and the rubber that's laid down and really a race competitive scenario is really hard to mimic. So it was my first time doing that. Leave it to me to choose a track that's full of massive concrete walls to jump back in a race car for the first time in a few months. But I did it, and I was feeling amazing. I was just immediately had the line pretty good. There was 2 spots I need to work on: outer zone 3, which is the big wall by the fans, and then leaving outer zone 6, which is a turn that was fully across from the judges stand. I had some things there I was working on trying to put it together. But come the end of the day, the laps, I only got like 8 laps in practice. It was crazy. 4.5 hours of practice against 6-7 laps. I need to talk to Formula D about that, because it was just a waste of life sitting in line waiting for that. Went into seating, ended up going up against Rudy Hansen, which was a really cool battle. Rudy's been ripping, and ended up edging him out and getting the win. And then I went up against Dan in his Supra, and we won that battle pretty flawlessly, I'd say. Then it was time for the Final Four against Ryan Littoral. It was a good battle. I feel like I had him covered on the chase, but then in the lead, coming out of turn 6, I over-rotated the car. I think it was a mixture of second lap tires and then being a little bit too aggressive and allowing the wheel speed to flare up, and over-rotated and basically gave him the win. So I grabbed 3rd in seating, but the good news is that put me in the right side of bracket, because my dream of this whole event was to end up with James Deane in the finals. That was for me, the picture perfect scenario for our team and myself, and also ended up with me whooping James's ass in the finals too. So confident, not cocky, friends. You got to be confident, and you got to aim for the top. And who else better to aim for the top? My teammate, my partner, my friend, 5-time James Deane. So anyway, I was very happy with how that went. That night, James and I went to dinner with Ford. Ben went to dinner with Pennzoil and some other partners, which, speaking of, Ben went out, was doing great, unbelievable in practice. In fact, I was really happy with the Ben I saw. He made a dumb mistake in seating, got knocked out his first battle, unfortunately. because I was also looking forward to battling him. But we knew we both were in the show, and the next day was another day. So, yeah, game time on Saturday. Was very excited to be at the track, was really feeling good, looking forward to my battle. And it was a battle with Ryan Turk. And before that battle, though, James got his win, and Ben went out and had an absolute flawless, beautiful battle, and moved on to the top 16. And for Ben and our team, and just in general, I mean, the emotions were like winning a championship, because I was crying like a baby. Straight up. Crying's okay, guys. You know, it's good to let emotions out. But it just felt so good because, you know, I believed in Ben, and we believe in Ben so much. And he's just not been able to put it together. And, you know, sure, there's been a couple things on the team's end that have, you know, we've had some problems last year. All those were solved this year. But the reality is that, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, is that, you know, the mental game at this level is insane, and Ben has been folding under pressure. Is my opinion, and he has never trained or has not had this type of pressure and know how to deal with it, so that he can be the man that we all know he can be behind the wheel. And what he showed on Saturday during that top 16 battle, and then ultimately his battle with Osmo, which frankly I think should have at a minimum been a one more time. He's ready to battle the best. He just needs to do it consistently. He has the skill, but the physical skill, and he has the equipment and the team, but we got to work on the brain, and he's bought into that. He's making that happen and making big investments in himself to do so. So I'm really proud of that, and I was just so pumped for him to get that at the last round of the season, because it's going to make his off season just full of confidence and full of feeling just so much better. And so, you know, we're following that, you know, I was on cloud 9. James and Ben were already in the top 16. Frankly, like, I wanted to win, but like, it didn't even matter. I had no pressure, and I went out there and pushed Turk hard. I mean, my chase, I knew I was in a good spot. He made a couple mistakes in the lead. There's a couple spots I could capitalize on, and one of them was out of 3. He was a bit off it, and so I was trying to like not leave it in the judge's hands. And I came out of outer 2, which is basically the first turn, and I pulled like a 4 to 6 car gap on Turk out of that turn. I was going fast, and I changed my trajectory on 3 just a little bit, and I ended up getting in the marbles a bit, and I couldn't get the car rotated off the turn. So I almost like got into like a four-wheel slide straight into the wall. Oh, sideways into the wall, I should say. And gave that battle away as well. And it was definitely a bummer, but one really, really cool thing came out of it. There's a photo with my car in the wall, and my rear RTR duckbill spoiler flying in the air, perfectly centered over my car with Ready to Rock. We'll put it right here. We'll even zoom in on it. Beautiful. It's just like unbelievable photo. That was a little more than a boot. I just couldn't get it off the turn. I was going a little too hot. A little too hot. Thanks, girl. You're amazing. Yeah, I had a hell of a chase on him. I feel like I had an advantage going in there, and I just knew I had to do a perfect lead, and I went for the perfect lead. I was just probably 5 miles an hour too fast going through outer zone 3 up against the wall, and I just could not get it. I couldn't get it in. Yeah, you know, it'd be like that sometimes, but we got 2 horses in the show, and while I would love to be out there, I'm excited to step back and watch the boys do their thing and watch our team do their thing. So it was a hell of an event, and we did really well. And yeah, mistakes happen. Yeah, that happened. Had to get the tow truck out, and then it was a team owner and fan the rest of the weekend. Well, actually, during halftime, I got to go out and show the Mustang RTR to the crowd. So we had a plan, and basically after James got his flowers for the championship, I came out in the Mustang, did some donuts around the car. Ben, James, and then Jared got out, talked about the car along with Ryan Shaughnessy, the Mustang brand manager. And that was pretty dope. Made some smoke and showed everybody what this hot rod's about. And then it was halftime, time to go spend some time with the fans. We had a pit party at the Mustang RTR display. Then after that, it was game time. So time for Ben and James to put their helmets on and go kick some ass. And I hung out with them the whole time over in the pit, just keeping the vibe high and, keeping the love out there. And watched, Ben go up against Osbo, crush it, but didn't get to move on. And then I saw James fight his way all the way to the top 3. Speaking of those battles, Hero Manoa, bud, what a freaking stud. He is unbelievable. Ultimately ended up, James ended up over-rotating in the same spot I did and lost to Hero. And then we got to watch Hero move on. And unfortunately, during that battle with James, I heard Hero's car come by and it was rod knocking. And then Kevin Wells came by and had an oil pump belt in his hand, said, "Is this yours?" And we're like, "No." And sure enough, it was Hero's. So Hero couldn't run the final round, giving the win to Jack Shanahan, who was also crushing it. Huge congrats to him. He's a big fighter and a really good driver. Yeah, so we ended up third, and then all ended up on the podium grabbing the championship. That was very well deserved and very well earned from our team for the 3rd year in a row, which is just crazy. We won the Formula Drift Championship 3 years in a row. 2023 with Chelsea, 24 with James, 25 with James, and James became the first 5-time Formula Drift champion. It's incredible. RTR Mustangs are the winningest vehicle in Formula Drift history, period. Mustang is the winningest vehicle in Formula Drift history. Just think about that. Go back to drifting's roots. Did you ever think a Mustang would be dominating Formula Drift? It's just unbelievable, and it is just truly just led by passion and achieved by the effort of some really amazing humans on and off the track here at RTR. And I'm just so honored to have the quality people and passion that they put into everything we do on and off the track, whether it's our car builds, our motorsports programs, our content, our engineering. Like it's really something special that we have built here, and we got to keep it going. So, but yeah, it's been an epic year. And I really, drifting is in such a heyday, and I just hope to see it continue and flourish. Yeah, what I'm doing next year, I'll definitely be, I think I can say, at least one Formula D round next year. We'll see. Haven't fully baked it all out, but one thing's for sure, we will have Ben Hobson and James Deane returning for 2 championship efforts. And I just want to thank all of you for the love, the support, and all the energy you bring and stand behind with RTR. Really, really appreciate you all very much. And yeah, the next year's prep starts now, and I'm getting ready for the Baja 1000. So spend a little time with the family before then, and then head to Mexico for 10 days. So much love, you all. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time, friends. Woo!